Early in the morning,
What's going on, people? It's your boy Cam, Topical Juice, and I'm back with a very interesting video today. It's another episode of Topical Talks, as you can see. My intention with this video is I really want to help you guys understand empathy. I really want this message to hit home for some people, that we all live a different reality. Just because we went to the same school or we're all part of the human race, our realities are extremely different. The way I've lived and breathed throughout my entire life, the way I've viewed the world and the world's viewed me is so different to how the world has viewed some of my counterparts who I went to school with. The way that women view the world and experience the world, literally for having a vagina, pretty much, for being a woman, the way they view the world and experience the world is extremely different to how I've experienced the world. But yet here I am empathizing with that experience. Here I am dedicating entire videos to their experience. If I can do that without spending one day in a female's shoes, if I can do that, I can teach people to do that as well. And I have been extremely ignorant. I was extremely homophobic growing up. I was extremely misogynistic growing up. I'm none of those things now. I'm the one flying the flag for all of those things now. So if I can change, if I can learn, the world can learn. I was so ignorant. And that's part of the reason why I'm doing this video today. Because if I can change, the world can change. So the title says, what do women and black people both have in common? And I'm actually going to answer that question right at the end of this video. Before I do that, I want to show you two things. The first thing I want to show you is I want to give you an insight into the female experience. How would you know about the female experience, Cam? You're not a girl. Yeah, good question. You're right, I'm not. But I listen, and I've got a lot of female friends, and I asked a shit ton of people this morning on Instagram to tell me your experience. I want to know, tell me, and I'm gonna tell the world. I'm then gonna give you an insight into the life of a black person, the behaviors a black person has to do on a day-to-day basis. And then at the end, I'm just gonna compare the two. We're gonna look at the similarities, we're gonna conclude, we're gonna explore, we're gonna talk. This is what Topical Talks is all about, getting into discussions. This video is gonna be a long one. Strap your seatbelt in. This video is also gonna get no views. It's not trending, it's not anything. I'm relying heavily on you guys. Please, I never ask you guys to share my videos, but please share this video for me. Please share this video for me, it would mean the world. That's enough of setting the scene, let's go. Please like the video for me, please hit the bell to be notified for me, please hit the subscribe button for me, and let's get into this. So this morning I asked Instagram, what is it that women do that men have no idea about? Behaviors that women do just on a day-to-day basis. What women do? They call their boyfriend on the walk home, or any variant. They actually will call their boyfriend, they'll pretend to call a boyfriend, or etc, etc. They walk with keys. Keys in the hand, keys in the pocket, for protection, just in case. When girls get in taxis, they make sure to note down the registration number and send it to their friends. When girls also get in taxis, they make sure they leave DNA in the back seat, whether it's fingerprints on the back or a strand of hair on the back seat. They also send their live location to their friends or location to their friends so their girls know where they are. Some girls came back to me and said that they pretend to have music on. So they would have their headphones on, but no music on. Some people say that they have music on, but they have to make sure that their headphones aren't noise cancelling headphones. My mum told me that she used to carry a knife and she never used to walk through parks alone 40 years ago. When a woman is nearly walking into her house, she won't walk into the house if she knows a man is walking behind her. She'll walk past the house until the man goes and come back. Some girls won't even get their keys out their pocket until they know it's safe to do so. Some girls add loops to their belts to make sure that it's so tight that it can't be taken off or whatever, forcibly removed. Girls will ensure they text their friends that they got home okay. If a girl didn't receive that I got home text, they would text them saying, have you gotten home? Can you ring me? Where are you? Girls said that they have code words for safety. If one of their friends receives this code word, it's the code to get me the hell out of here, save me. Being dropped by a taxi or by a friend or by a boy around the corner so they don't know where they live. Only answering the door if someone else is in or if they're expecting a delivery. Wearing trainers or having trainers on them so if anything happens they can do the runner, they can do the dash, because obviously girls can't run in heels. A girl I know told me that she will not walk past the driver's side of a car through fear that someone could open the door or someone could open the window and grab them. A girl told me that she carries pepper spray on her at all times. Another girl told me that every single time she puts petrol in the car, when she comes back from the garage, she double checks the back seat every single time to make sure that no one got in while she was gone. even though she locks the door. Having to tell a man in the club that touching you is wrong, that grabbing you is wrong, that catcalling you is wrong, that staring at you is wrong, that giving you a random backhanded compliment or even a real genuine compliment at 9 p.m. when you're on your own is wrong. Now, the first thing I want to say before I move on is everything that I just read out got sent to me 30 times from 30 individual people. What does that tell you? Again, I'm going to give you all my opinion at the end. The fact that multiple people have told me the same thing, I know what that concludes in my mind. I know what that means in my mind. But what does that tell you? Men in the audience, have you ever had to do any of those things? Be real here. Don't be like, oh, actually, yeah, I remember I was walking down a dark alley once at 1 a.m. I didn't have no shank on me, so I had to have my key just in case. That's the difference. There's a difference kind of walking around a dark alley in the hood at 1 a.m. and you're lacking, fair, whatever. But every single time you go out, having to consider holding your keys in case someone approaches you. Men, if your brethren goes out on a night out and he doesn't text you at 5 a.m, are you going to call him and say, where the hell are you? Have you done that before? Be real here. How interesting is that? What an experience that is as a woman. I can't relate to that. I'm a big hardback man. I can fight. I'm about my business. So I don't worry about these things. I live my day-to-day life. I walk home at 4 a.m, blind drunk, not giving a shit. How different is that reality? How different is that reality on a day-to-day basis? All those things women have to consider just so they live. Just so they go about their day, they have to consider things like that. What they wear, how high the skirt is, because they might get victim blamed. It might entice men. They don't want to hide that. They don't want to show their boobies out because it entices men. They have to think about that. Why? Why do they think about that? Because of the world around them. They have to think about everything they do because of how the world treats them. All right, let's put a pin in women for now. Let's have a look at black people now, shall we? What do black people have to do? We think or talk about race every single day, without fail. The only people on this planet that say, what does race have to do with anything? Oh, take a guess. It's white people. Now, there's a reason for that. There's a reason why the only demographic on the planet that says, what does race have to do with anything, is white. The reason why that is it's because of the social hierarchy. It's a social structure that we live in. It's a social structure that we are involved in on a day-to-day basis. White people don't have to think about race. White people can go about their day not even thinking that white is the color of their skin. Black people are reminded of their skin color every single day. It's the reality that we live and breathe. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. We have to think about the color of our skin every single day. Facts, no two ways about it. Every single day without fail. What other behaviors do we have to do? We have to teach our kids about race. We have to brace our children for the world they're going to get into. White people don't have to do that. White people don't have to sit their kids down and say, son, daughter, unfortunately, when you get older, people are going to say certain things to you. You're not going to experience certain things. You're going to have to accept this, this, and this. White people don't have to do that. That's a reality black people have to do every single time. We have to brace our kids for racism. If we have a white partner, we have to say, by the way, do your parents know I'm black? or do your parents know I'm not white? We have to say to our white friends before we go over there, are your parents the good ones or the racist ones? We have to avoid dressing a certain way to avoid stereotypes. Someone told me today that their black boyfriend doesn't walk around Sheffield or Yorkshire somewhere, I think it was Yorkshire, with a black hat. He has to make sure it's blue because there's a perception that black people wearing black hats is a thug. We have to research holiday destinations before we go there. in case it's safe for black people, in case, oh, is so-and-so racist? Is so-and-so racist? When we go out to party, we have to separate our groups. If there's a group of 6 black people, we'll separate in 2s to ensure we get in. We also joke in our group chats about not getting in to clubs. Is that something, if you're white, you've ever done? Have you ever had to separate yourselves as a group of 6 white people in groups of 2s or 3s to ensure you get into a club? If you're white, have you ever had to research a destination before you go there? When I was 14 and 15, I was told to avoid certain rooms in a house party because the host's parents were racist. They didn't mind the party going on, but they didn't want to see no black people, so they stayed in the thingy. I got told that. I know the person. I've got the person in my head who told me that. It was a girl that I went to sixth form with. Fam, that is the reality that I'm experiencing flipping over a decade ago. Oh, by the way, yeah, have fun. Oh, by the way, Cam, don't go in that room. By the way, you know about my dad. He's racist. Don't worry about that. Just don't go in there. And obviously these times I'm like, oh, don't worry, don't worry. I won't. We get it all the time. I won't go in there. We'll just get. Oh, shucks. What else is there? The list goes on. To this day, I still cross the road when I'm wearing a tracksuit because I know that white people feel uncomfortable with a black person wear it dressed the way I dress. So I cross the road to make them feel safer. That's what I do to this day. I have to consciously not do it. The same way, me and a couple other boys, we purposely slow down when we're walking behind a woman. Or we might do our laces to make a girl feel comfortable. Now that's being generous because we understand what women go through. Because I understand and empathize what women go through, I will do my laces up like my best friend's boyfriend does and all that. And I'll slow down to make them feel comfortable. The same way I'll cross the road for a white person because they feel uncomfortable with me. Are you starting to see the different realities here? I've got black friends that have told me they ensure that they eat alone when they bring home cooked food in because they don't want to deal with the ignorant comments. I've had friends tell me they never wear their natural hair out because they can't deal with being treated like a zoo animal because of the microaggressions at work. Are you seeing the different realities here? I had a white girl tell me today that I went to school with that she makes sure that she books the holidays and books the luggage for her and her partner to ensure that the luggage doesn't get checked and to ensure that they don't get stopped at the airport. I have had to ask my friends to book an Airbnb before because my picture is of me. So I'm like, oh, by the way, can you just book this for me? Because we've had issues before where like I booked and I've had issues before where people have messaged me or my friends before where they don't want to book to us because we're Negroes. Yeah? So when you sit here and think that the world is all fine and dandy, it ain't. It's fine and dandy for one specific demographic in this world. Now, it doesn't mean that specific demographic has it can't have it hard, but it means it has it way easier than the rest of us. Facts. Simple as that. Very interesting, isn't it? Very interesting things that women do, black people do in order to keep themselves or to keep ourselves safe, in order to navigate through the world. Now let's have a look at the group chat this morning. The very same group chat I'm in that I talk in every single day. Let's have a look at what was spoken about this very morning. Look at your screens right now. My boy said, it's actually crazy that we have to be so aware of this shit 24/7, man. My girl said, our lives are centered around the color of our skin. My guy said, honestly, being in Nigeria was such bliss because for 2 weeks I wasn't aware of my blackness. Was just existing peacefully as fuck. My girl said, so when people say I don't see color, it pisses me the fuck off. She then said, I think that's why it felt like home for me, even though I wasn't born or raised there. And my guy said, feel you. It's just nice fitting into society instead of standing out 98% of the time. Do white people talk like that in group chats? I can't imagine that's the reality. If you're white and watching this right now, I cannot imagine you've ever said a sentence like that in your entire life, even thought about it. That sentence right there is something that we speak about daily. 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 Get me? Look at your screens right now. This is the same group chat, same day. We were literally making jokes about not getting into clubs. My guy said 0 out of 2 attempts in Madrid, even with pre-bought tickets. Man said, forgot about the nigger fee. Oh my days, don't kill me. My girl said, imagine getting ready to go out knowing that you might not even get into the club you want to go to. Now this is an example of female behaviour. Look at the group chat in the corner there saying, everyone home okay? Home now, home also, all that stuff. Everyone making sure they're home. Sharing locations with friends. Making sure every Uber ride has been shared with someone. So, in conclusion, I want to touch on two main points. The first point is, volume and laws of average. All I did this morning was drop a story. I said, girls, I want to know about your experience. Tell me something you do that men know nothing about. I got the same message from 50 different people. That tells me that there is a fundamental issue with the core of society. There is a system in place which oppresses certain demographics. Now, if you can't accept that the white male sits on the top of social hierarchy, then you don't want to. You don't want to. White men dominate society, they dominate the media, they dominate corporations, they dominate the world's wealth, and they've dominated that throughout history. So when you get to the modern day, which is where we are right now, we are still feeling the effects of where we've come from. So if historically women have been oppressed horrifically, which we know they have, staying indoors and beaten and being raped and all this stuff by men, and black people have been dominated by white men in the past, slavery and this and racism, Jim Crow, we are still feeling the effects today. So within this system, there is a hierarchy. White people sit on the top, specifically white men. Why do you think people say it's a white man's world? And then the rest follow. Now, even though white women have more privilege than black people, women are still oppressed. There is no two ways about it. Women are oppressed, okay? There is a structure and a system in place which keeps women from not having the same amount of jobs as men. That keeps black people not having the same amount of jobs as white people. Do you see the similarities? It is a very real structure. But going back to the original point I was making, look how many people said the same thing. That tells me it is a problem nationwide, if not globally. All I used was a small sample size. A small sample size. You all must have the same experience. The same way black people have the same experience. Yes, there's going to be a few stragglers out there who have different experiences and a few women who don't have the same experience. But there is a general narrative, isn't there? There is a general narrative that black people have the same experiences. So why then does the world always try to gaslight us? When these people tell women, oh, you shouldn't just go out at these times and this, or gaslight black people, do you think all black people have the same group chat? And when we wake up, we just get on our phones to 1 billion of us, 2-3 billion of us, and say, black people, this is the narrative we're going to push today. This is how we're going to pretend we're victims today. This is how... No. Do you think women wake up and say, this is the narrative we're going to push today. Let's all say that we have to hold our keys in our hands. Let's all lie and say that we carry pepper spray because we're scared of men. Let's all lie. So if all these women have this experience and all black people have this experience, why do we continue to get gaslit? We get gaslighted by a very particular demographic, fam. And it's because that demographic rules the world. Guys, that's the end of Topical Talks today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Guys, what did you conclude? What did you learn from this? Because me, I'm not no woman. But yet, here I am, sitting here wanting to learn, wanting to listen, understand, in order to get a better understanding about how I can help, right? But why is it the victims are the ones that always have to change? Women are the ones that have to change their behavior. Black people are the ones that have to change their behavior. No, the oppressor has to change their behavior, fam. Seriously, whoever the oppressor is. You understand? The system has to change its behavior. No longer is it going to be acceptable to blame the victim. No, women are victims in their own right, in their own way. Black people are victims in their own way. While there is very different realities for both, there's a lot of similarities for both as well. I think out of all the demographics in the entire world, black people and women should be able to empathize the most. Seriously. So it's shocking that there's so many racist women out there. If I'm being honest with you. Because what women go through, you should empathize with the black experience. Seriously. It's not as bad, but you should empathize, for real. But anyway, that's my take on it. There is not 1 ounce of hate in this video. I do not hate white people. I do not hate anyone. I've got best friends that are white. I was raised by a white family. Yeah, my white mum saved my life. She raised me. So don't give me all that anti-white speech, yeah? But that doesn't change the facts of the reality. That just does not change the facts of the reality that the system is in place to favour White people. Recognizing that reality doesn't make us anti-white. Okay? So swallow your pride, swallow your ego, and start listening rather than talking. Ask rather than tell. Peace.